Oh gosh, you guys, what I'm about to spill today is absolutely earth-shattering. The Hollywood drama has reached a whole new level, and trust me, you're not ready for what's coming.
Where was Justin Bieber's father when the pop star went full buck crazy at just 15, partying with Diddy? Jeremy Bieber, who walked out on Justin as a baby, only resurfaced when his son became famous.
During my teen years, sort of everything had come to a head. I had, the abandonment,
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape from me.
The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Can you believe what's happening right now? Justin Bieber's parents, Pattie, Malette, and Jeremy Bieber, are finally getting dragged into the spotlight for allegedly being complicit in this whole disturbing situation with Diddy. And honey, it's not just them. One of Diddy's victims' lawyers is saying all these parents need to be held accountable for basically selling their kids. Y'all, if you've been following this whole mess with Diddy's alleged crimes, you've probably heard those horrifying whispers about that tape involving young Justin. Sources are saying Justin was handed over to Diddy through LA Reid and Usher. But here's the thing that's got everyone fuming. None of this would have allegedly happened if his parents had just protected their baby boy. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more disturbing, Justin's dad Jeremy is now under fire for running this super creepy Instagram account for his 6-year-old daughter Bay. Like, who does that to their child?
add on to that, drug and alcohol, and just everything sort of came to a head and spiraled out of control.
Let me take you back to where this whole heartbreaking story began, because Chile, this tea needs to be served properly. We're talking about when Justin was just an innocent 12-year-old baby and his mama Pattie was posting those sweet YouTube videos of him singing. Now, Pattie had no idea that those innocent little videos would turn their whole world upside down. One day, this talent manager named Scooter Braun comes across these videos, and honey, he went full detective mode trying to track Justin down, found the theater where Justin performed, got his school information, and finally reached out to Pattie with this life-changing offer to bring Justin to Atlanta.
I said, I need to find acts no one wants off social media and build them on social media. And I found a kid on MySpace named Asher Roth. And then I found this little kid on YouTube in the middle of the night, because that's what happens when you're a grown man on the internet in the middle of the night. You stare at a little boy singing and you're like, little boy, come be with me. And I'm the only person that's never been arrested for doing that. And that was Justin Bieber. And
that was the second person you signed.
4 months after signing Asher, I signed Justin. And what happened was I had asked Justin and his mom living in a townhouse that I was paying for with his education. I was paying for hockey. And I had Asher and his friends who had all dropped out of college with him living in another broken down house around the corner from me. And I was risking it all, and they didn't know it. They thought I was this young hot shot in Atlanta and had all these connections and knew all these people.
Now, here's where things get really wild. Pattie later spilled to the New York Times that she was actually hesitant about letting Justin go with Scooter, and you won't believe why. She admitted it was because of Scooter's Jewish background. I cannot make this up. She was all about keeping Justin in Christian music and was worried about him going mainstream. She literally told the New York Times, and I quote, "I said, God, I gave him to you. You could send me a Christian man, a Christian label. You don't want this Jewish kid to be Justin's man, do you?" But then she went to her church elders for advice, and they encouraged her to take the chance. Next thing you know, 13-year-old Justin is on a plane to Atlanta with Scooter. No parental supervision whatsoever. Just a week later, boom! He's meeting with Usher, who assigns this guy Ryan Good as Justin's road manager and even calls him Justin's swagger coach. Like, what in the world is a swagger coach? Pattie admitted that once Scooter and Usher stepped in, she completely lost control over her baby boy. She tried to justify it to the Times, saying, "No 15-year-old wants to be around his mother 24/7, and no mother wants to be around her 15-year-old 24/7 either." But honey, here's the part that's making everyone's blood boil. Why on God's green earth would she let 15-year-old Justin spend 2 whole days with 40-year-old Diddy back in 2009? Let me tell you about this video that surfaced from that time. It's honestly so disturbing to watch now. It starts with Diddy showing off all his fancy cars to Justin, making all these promises about getting him his own luxury car and house when he's older.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time.
Right here?
Yeah, it's gonna be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, front shot it.
Man.
And then out. Ready?
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet. 16.
You're not ready. Slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
And then things get super uncomfortable because when Justin asks where they're heading next, Diddy gets all weird on camera. Instead of answering, he just starts talking about how he's got Justin for the next 48 hours but won't say what they're planning to do. But
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
wait, it gets even creepier. Diddy starts making these jokes about having custody of Justin and then brings up how he had legal guardianship over Usher back in the day. Like, who even jokes about that?
You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Now, y'all probably know about Usher living at what they called the Puffy Flavor Camp with Diddy, and apparently this was all L.A. Reid's idea. And speaking of L.A. Reid, let me tell you about some seriously questionable comments he made about Justin.
14-year-old Justin Bieber walks into my office as a gift from Usher, who called a few minutes before and said, "Hey, I'm coming to your office at 3 o'clock. I have a very special gift for you." And he shows up with Justin Bieber, and Justin sits down and plays piano. Then he picks up his guitar and plays. And I'm like, oh my God, right? Are you serious? And that day, we made a deal to sign Justin Bieber also.
And hold on to your wigs because it gets even more disturbing. In his memoir, L.A. Reid wrote about Justin in this super inappropriate way, saying this child was beautiful like a woman can be beautiful and men rarely are, and that he turned it on as soon as he walked in the room. Like, excuse me? Who talks about a young boy like that? The red flags are literally blinding. Now, let's talk about Usher for a minute because this tea is scalding. He's been keeping real quiet about all these allegations lately, but there's this super telling clip going around where Diddy asks him why they don't hang out like they used to, and Chile, the body language is speaking volumes. Usher can barely make eye contact, but what's really breaking everyone's hearts is this viral video from about a year after Justin's 48 hours with Diddy. They run into each other in a studio, and Justin looks absolutely terrified. Diddy's there asking why they stopped hanging out, and poor Justin is stuttering, looking completely traumatized.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, big, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Now, in this heartbreaking 2020 interview with Zane Lowe, Justin got super emotional talking about feeling protective over Billie Eilish. The pain in his face, you could literally see him reliving something deep and traumatic.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
But hold on to your seats because this next part is wild. People are saying Justin tried to warn us about Hollywood's dark side through his yummy music video. At first, it seems like just another music video. Justin's at this fancy dinner with all these rich older people and there's young musicians performing. But then things get super weird. Everyone leaves except this one creepy old man lingering in the background, and the final shot? A slice of cake transforms into a photo of young Justin. The symbolism is chilling. And speaking of warnings, let me tell you about this absolutely shocking Comedy Central sketch from 2014. Comedian Pr3dat0r created this piece about a young pop star who looked exactly like Justin, singing about being sold to a producer by his parents.
Help me, my parents sold me to a big producer in the record industry. He makes me do things that I don't want to do. Please call child services or maybe SVU.
The lyrics get darker and darker, talking about all these horrifying things this producer allegedly makes the pop star do.
To run away. One time in Belarus, they beat me with phone books so that I wouldn't bruise. I just can't take no more rich kids' bar mitzvahs or paid sleepovers with Saudi princes. Blinked SOS and Morse code. Once at the VMAs, they sprayed me with a hose in a pit for 3 days.
Then this producer starts rapping about being a father figure while the poor singer keeps crying for help.
Don't think of me as a record exec, but a father figure and pal. This kid's a real prankster. This is one of his practical jokes. Thank you for your concern, but there's nothing to see here, folks. That's just exhaustion talking. Poor little guy's tuckered out. I'll take him back to the tour bus and we'll get him straightened out.
And then there's this absolutely terrifying part about sacrifices.
Don't ignore what I said. They'll sacrifice me.
Thank all of you for your support.
Now here's where it gets really spooky. Back then, everyone just laughed it off as comedy, but now, people are saying Pr3dat0r might have known something and was trying to warn us through his art. And then, tragically, Pr3dat0r passed away in August 2021 in what was reported as an accident at his home. TMZ said he fell from his balcony at 2:30 a.m., and while they're saying alcohol was involved, a lot of people aren't buying that story at all. But let's circle back to Justin's parents because, Chile, this is where my blood is boiling. With everything we knew about the industry even back then, how did they not protect their son? And Justin's dad, Jeremy, don't even get me started. He was literally nowhere to be found until Justin started making those millions, and then suddenly he's Father of the Year. Let me remind you about that crazy night in 2014 when Justin got arrested for drag racing. Not only was Jeremy partying with his teenage son at a Miami club, like what kind of parenting, but sources are saying he actually helped block traffic so Justin could race. The enabling is just beyond. And now this absolute mess with Bey's Instagram account, it's giving me the creeps. The account bio says, "Watch me grow," and has all these inappropriate photos of this precious 6-year-old baby. The comments from these grown men are absolutely disgusting, and Jeremy's just letting it happen like it's normal. When you look at the whole picture, Pattie letting her teenage son spend unsupervised time with grown men in the industry, Jeremy's absent parenting, and then this exploitation. Is it any wonder Justin became vulnerable to industry? It's honestly a miracle he survived everything he's allegedly been through. The really sad part is, all the adults who were supposed to protect Justin seemed more interested in what he could do for them. His mom was so focused on making him a star that she let him fly across the country with strangers. His dad was absent until the money started rolling in. And then these industry men just circling around him like vultures. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
I feel funny. Is this real life?
He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the dealer for 48 hours.
Yes. Is Usher a close friend of yours? Yes. Is Usher a confidant? I guess, yes. Is Usher giving you career advice? Is this an interview or a deposition? I'm confused.
Please, sir.
So what do y'all think about all this? Were Justin's parents really that blind to what was allegedly happening? Or did they choose to look the other way for fame and fortune? And what about all these other players in this messy situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this conversation is far from over. And let me tell you, this story about Usher's alleged involvement that we're about to dive into next week, it's going to blow your mind. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The truth always comes out in Hollywood, and honey, we're just getting started. Remember, we're here to support these victims and make sure their stories are heard. It's about time people are held accountable for what allegedly happened to these young stars. Keep watching, keep sharing, and keep speaking up because change only happens when we refuse to stay silent. Stay tuned, family, because this story is far from over, and you know I'll be right here to spill all the piping hot tea as it comes out. Drop those comments below and let me know what you think about this whole situation.